Hola, piloncillos. Welcome to the 12th episode of the Offerings of Copal podcast. This is your host, Cihua Mazatl. I know it's been a little while since my last episode. December was a busy and reflective time for me, and I needed to take a pause to integrate my own experiences before returning to this space. Sometimes taking a step back allows us to move forward with more clarity and intention. I appreciate your patience as I've navigated that. I'm so grateful that you've chosen to spend this time with me. As the year draws to a close, many of us feel pulled between the locura of modern holidays and the quiet call of the natural world. A world that invites us to rest and reflect during this season of darkness and stillness. In indigenous traditions, the Mexica traditions in particular, winter holds profound meaning. It is a time ruled by the north, or Mictlampa, on the medicine wheel, where the energies of transformation, wisdom, and letting go reside. Winter is a sacred pause, a moment to align with the cycles of the earth and prepare for the renewal that spring brings. Yet, many of us feel out of step with these rhythms, caught in the busyness of gatherings, consumerism, and expectations. Today's episode is for anyone feeling the weight of this season. Whether you're navigating the hustle or longing for deeper connection and meaning, together we'll explore themes of honoring winter's stillness, integrating our experiences, and reconnecting to traditions that nourish the spirit. If you've ever felt disconnected from the modern holiday rush or found solace in quieter, reflective moments, this episode is for you. Take a moment to settle in, maybe light a candle, pour a warm drink, and let's begin this journey together. Even though the holiday season is over, winter has only just begun. This is an important time to reflect on and integrate the experiences we've had, honoring the lessons they bring as we move forward into this season of introspection and renewal. Before we dive in, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on your own holiday experiences. It is if you celebrate them. What emotions come up when you think about this season? Are there moments of joy, stress, or even pain that stand out? Each of us carries a unique story of how we navigate this time of year, and by acknowledging those stories, we begin to integrate them into a fuller understanding of ourselves. Let's hold space for those reflections as we move forward. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of my personal experiences when it comes to the holidays. For me, growing up, the holidays were complicated. My mom was a single mother, and I often watched my two siblings leave to spend time with their fathers. It was a strange and lonely feeling. Something always felt incomplete. There are brief moments, especially when I was around 7 to 9 years old, when the holidays seemed fulfilling. But even then, there was an undercurrent of sadness. My mom struggled to provide for us, and no matter how much she tried to make things feel festive, I could sense the weight that she carried. She'd say she hated the holidays, but I've come to think it wasn't the holidays themselves she had hated. In fact, it was loneliness, the distance from her family in another country, and the reminder that she had to carry on her own. For many migrant families, the holidays can be a bittersweet time. The joy of tradition is often accompanied by the pain of separation and the weight of survival in a new country. Studies show that this season has one of the highest rates of trauma and emotional strain. I've certainly felt that in my life. The glittering decorations and cheerful music can sometimes feel like a sharp contrast to the struggles many face behind closed doors. For me, the twinkling lights of the Christmas tree became blurred with the memories of hospital lights and the fog of trauma. As I got older, the holidays became more of a chore. I was the one who had to set up the tree, untangle the lights, and decorate it all by myself, while my mother worked or sometimes if my siblings were there. I also had to assemble a nativity scene, even though my mom often said she didn't believe in Jesus. It felt like performing a ritual without understanding its deeper meaning, a tradition passed down, but detached from its roots. When we could afford to visit family back home in Mexico, those holidays were loud, cheerful, and chaotic. Beer bottles clinked and rolled on cement floors. Music pounded so loudly it reverberated through my bones, and we'd often have to find a space to sleep wherever we could, often on some bed or on the floor, even on a chair shared with cousins. As messy as it was also a glimpse into something more communal, more alive. And that was pretty much, the alternating years of my holiday experience. As in my 20s, I kind of had the opportunity to escape that in some ways. I moved away from my mom and my brothers and spent a couple holiday seasons on my own, which was nice. I kind of had to had to heal my experience with the holidays and find my own meaning in it. And now in my 30s, as I have my own family dynamics, my approach is entirely different. But now to reflect as an adult, looking back at those times, I see it all differently. The losses of matriarchs and patriarchs have reshaped our gatherings. The rose-colored glasses have fallen away, and I'm more attuned to the grief, anger, and unspoken wounds that often linger just beneath the surface. Returning to my family now, I come with a renewed perspective and complexities of my own dynamics to navigate. Yet through it all, I've come to understand the importance of honoring what feels authentic and releasing what doesn't. In Indigenous traditions, the winter solstice marks a powerful turning point, a moment of rebirth, as the sun begins its slow return from the longest night. This is a time to pause, reflect, and honor the cycles of nature. For me, it's a deeply sacred moment, one that feels more aligned with my spirit than the commercial frenzy of the holidays. I really just love to pause and step on my porch and allow the sun to just hit me and warm me. And then it's in those private moments as I do that and hear the winter birds that I commune with the sacred. It's in those little moments that you can too. This year, I focused on teaching the children in my life and community about the solstice. I had an opportunity with Aztlan Libre to lead a little circle of children and teens as we gathered and shared in the tradition of storytelling and using the panwewet or the drum to reflect on the importance of the sun and its journey. It was such a beautiful and grounding experience to not only tell the story of Huitzilopochtli and Coyolxauhqui, but also to allow them an opportunity to rewrite the story, retell the story from a healed perspective. It was a beautiful way to reconnect to something bigger than ourselves by diving into the world of myth. By aligning with the rhythms of the earth, we can find a sense of peace and purpose that transcends the noise of modern life. The solstice reminds us that even in the darkest times, there is the promise of light. It is a humbling and comforting thought. No matter our human drama, the cosmos continues its dance. The earth rests and renews, and we're invited to do the same. Now, if you have children in your life as well, then you know that navigating the holidays with them is always a delicate balance. They're drawn to the magic of gifts and bright lights and often completely unaware, or maybe somewhat aware, of the stresses adults carry during this season. In our family, we tried to shift the focus from presents to presence. Presence without the T. This year, we gave one or two meaningful gifts. A book on music tabs and a book on how to draw things, something that sparks creativity or nourishes them as individuals, and something to encourage self-expression and something that is unique to their life path. And we spent more time simply just being together. Sharing the story of the solstice with them was a highlight of my holiday season. It reminded me that the best gift we can give children is our time, our attention, and our willingness to create moments of connection. Even when they return from other gatherings filled with different traditions, we hold space for them to process and reflect. It's really hard to ignore the overwhelming consumerism that defines this time of year. Stores are crowded, aisles overflow with holiday-themed products, and the pressure to buy more can feel suffocating. As a business owner, I feel the tension of the fine line that I walk. On one hand, there's the need to make sales and support my livelihood. On the other hand, I want to align with my values and resist the feeding into this frenzy. I've been reflecting on how we can create a different kind of economy, one rooted in meaning and connection rather than endless consumption. Whether it's offering handmade or experiential gifts or simply opting out of the chaos altogether, we have the power to redefine how we participate in this season and begin to question even if it aligns with our spiritual beliefs, and whether the giving gifts is only specific to this time of year, and whether it's necessary to display our affection for one another. January 1st has never felt like a true new beginning to me. The earth is still in this quiet phase, and nature reminds us to slow down, not speed up. In many indigenous traditions, the new year aligns with observable cycles of the earth, the spring equinox, when life awakens and renewal feels natural. This is reflected in the Mexica calendar, or the Tonalpoali, which you hear me talk about a lot, where the year begins in March. This year recognizes the rhythm of planting and harvesting, emphasizing that new beginnings align with the season of growth. This period of winter invites us to embrace rest and introspection. In the Mexica cosmology, this is a time to work with our personal Tezcatlipoca, or the smoking of the mirror, which calls us to face our truths and reflect deeply on what we see. Winter is the time of the obsidian knives, where things begin to get so cold that it feels as if they cut. Winter belongs to the north, or Mictlampa, on the medicine wheel, a direction that carries the energy of death, transformation, and wisdom. Now, not death in a scary way, but as a part of the natural life process. Our ancestors didn't see death as this thing to be feared, but as something that was natural, needed, supported. When the leaves die from the trees, they break down, decompose, and become fertilizer for all the ground, for the ground, whether it's that tree itself or other life. And it feeds other life. Now, these themes of the North guide us during this time, inviting us to let go of what no longer serves and embrace the quiet wisdom found in stillness. By looking to Mictlampa, we honor the cycles of life and death within ourselves, creating space for new growth in the spring. Tezcatlipoca, the regent of this direction, is a symbol of introspection, of transformation, urging us to confront the parts of ourselves that we often shy away from, and which come very natural to us. It is in being able to see our own truth and take accountability for the actions and choices in our own personal lives. It is a sacred opportunity to shed what no longer serves us, to let go, much like the trees releasing their leaves. Winter's energy is not one of rapid action, but of quiet preparation. It is a time to plant seeds in the fertile soil of our minds and hearts, knowing that they will sprout when the conditions are right. This could mean reflecting on your desires, journaling about your dreams, or creating space for inner work that aligns with the renewal of spring. And if all of this seems like too much right now, that's okay. This, you don't have to be so caught up in the labor of this either. If right now what feels most right is to sleep in or to take a long nap or to just relax and eat some snacks, whatever your body needs during this time should also be honored. If maybe this isn't at the right time for you to reflect, maybe it will change in a week or two or even three as we get closer to March. But it is a necessary part of the process that we must all walk through in these seasons, especially as we start to get closer to spring. So don't worry if none of it makes sense yet, if you don't know what you want or where you want to go. Right now, it's the perfect time to just sublimate, integrate all the experiences that you've been having in these last several seasons. And these will make more sense as we turn to spring. In this quiet season, we are reminded to honor the cycles of death and rebirth, to trust that the stillness and the darkness are necessary for growth. The Mexica traditions teach us that life is cyclical, and this time is no less significant than the burst of energy that will come with the equinox. It is a moment to align with what is real and meaningful, to tune into the rhythm of the earth and begin again with intention and purpose. If you feel out of sync with the new year hype, know that it's okay to honor your own timeline. Reflect on what this quieter season can teach you about yourself and the ways you want to grow. By integrating these teachings, we can move into spring with clarity and a renewed sense of purpose. For now, I'm embracing this season as a time of rest and introspection. It's a time to plant seeds in the fertile soil of my mind and heart, knowing that they'll sprout when the conditions are right. While winter is a time for introspection and rest, it is also an opportunity to deepen our understanding of how personal cycles mirror cosmic ones. The Mexica calendar emphasizes the interconnection between individual lives and the larger forces of the universe. Each tonali or energy carries a lesson unique to us, yet it reflects universal truths about growth, change, and renewal. I've been personally reflecting on my tonali, which I don't know if I've shared here in the past, but my day tonali is Coat. So it's a snake. And it's not lost on me that here I am vibrating and speaking into this podcast episode, which I feel is very much in alignment with what a Coat person could do. But the Coat, the snake, is very introverted, likes to be in its little cave and it likes the sun. And I've personally have been feeling more aloof, more wanting to recede into a cave. And though I try to honor that as much as I can, hence why I go on these long periods of, or it takes me a little longer to respond, or I kind of take my time with things. And I think it has to do a lot with that energy capacity that I have. So here in this winter season, the snake is a cold-blooded creature that needs the sun to warm its bones. And so I'm definitely pondering about the relationships that each of the tonales have with the seasons and those around it as well. For me, the mixing of so many energies and meeting so many people in such a short period of time is definitely encouraging me to retrieve into my own little cave. And you'd have to look at what your tonali is in order to reflect further. But this is just an example. This is a powerful moment to look inward and consider what your personal journey has revealed this past year. I think it's a great time to ask yourself what lessons have emerged in this cycle, whether it's the cycle of the year, the cycle of the season. You decide, what cycle is sticking out to you the most. What patterns do I see repeating, and how might I align with their deeper purpose? Journaling or meditating on these questions can help you identify the energies you're working with and those you are ready to release. Winter also teaches us patience. Just as the earth waits for the sun's warmth to awaken new life, we are called to trust the timing of our own transformations. There is beauty in the slow unfolding and allowing ourselves to rest in the mystery of what is to come. I recently saw, and I think it was on a TikTok, it was talking about different traditions where human beings use this winter time or sort of go through hibernating periods of winter. Like there's a town in France that sleeps for the entirety of winter. And there's other parts of the world where the people sleep for longer periods of time. And you often think about hibernation as something that just animals do, but we forget that the human being is also an animal, and that we should honor what our animalistic instincts and our bodies desire more. And it is in these little actions, a lot of people want to reconnect with a more natural way of being, their indigeneity, these ancient practices, and they look for a complex answer, but it's really so simple, and just honoring and being one with the natural cycles that are around us. By embracing this cosmic rhythm, we honor not only our individual paths, but also the collective journey we all share. Winter invites us inward. The long nights and bare trees mirror our own need to shed what no longer serves us. It's natural to feel a mix of emotions during this time. Grief for those we've lost, tension in family dynamics, or even a sense of loneliness. But this quiet season also holds immense potential for healing. I find solace in simple rituals, lighting a candle, journaling, or sipping in silence with a cup of tea. These small acts help me connect with myself and the rhythms of the earth. They remind me that winter is not a time of emptiness, but a time of preparation, of dreaming, and restoring. I feel that winter really brings us back into our space, into our homes, in our environments, and we get to witness the hustle and bustle of the year and las huellas, the fingerprints that the year has left upon our living space. I think this is a great time to organize certain things, to make things more cozy or accessible. I want to say that is different than spring cleaning, although I do see a lot of people already beginning that spring cleaning journey. But personally, something that I'm going to do in the next coming days is organize this bookshelf that I have next to my desk, and to help make my more used craft supplies more accessible. And I'm also going to be organizing my closet area, which holds multiple components of my life, such as my personal things, business things, and art things. It's really quite miraculous at how I'm able to have all those things in such a small part of the closet. And well, I'm definitely looking forward to taking some moments and do some self-care and some self-love and help future me with more accessibility to the things that I love, to make things cozier for me in this season. And yes, Thank you for sharing this reflective space with me. I hope today's episode has offered you a sense of grounding and a reminder that it's okay to move at your own pace. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the holiday season, one, congratulations, you've made it. It's over. I encourage you to carve out a moment of quiet, whether it's journaling, taking a walk, sitting with nature, or your own thoughts. Take a moment now, to really integrate and honor whatever feelings are coming through at the moment. Give them the time and space they deserve so that they don't become another weight in your backpack. Remember, this is a season of rest, of going within, of preparing for the renewal to come. Let yourself shed what no longer serves you and nurture the seeds of what you hope to grow. And now we're coming to the end of this episode. Before I close, I want to share something exciting with you. My Tonalamat readings are now available in PDF format. This is something I had mentioned previously. You can either sit with me and I could read your Tonalamat, walk you through it with you. Or if you prefer a self-study approach, the Tonalamat in PDF format is perfect. Not only do you get the PDF of your Tonalamat, but you also get a companion workbook to help you deepen your connection with this ancient technology, with your own tonali, and more. I wish I had had this workbook in the beginning, but it's all been part of this journey, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because now I'm able to create this for you. This offering allows you to align more intimately with the energies of the Tonal Powali and explore how they resonate with your life and the natural seasons. Additionally, my book, Tlatoli Oracle, is also a wonderful resource for those seeking guidance through ancestor wisdom and artistic inspiration. It's pretty much like oracle cards, but in book form. You flip the pages and it lands on a message inspired by the Tonal Powali. It is designed to be a companion on your journey, whether you're diving into self-reflection or exploring more cosmic rhythms, or maybe you're just hoping to receive a message from your ancestors. You can find more about these offerings on my website, www.cihua.com, or through the links in the episode description. If these tools resonate with you, I encourage you to explore them as a way to stay in sync with the natural cycles and support your personal growth. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need a little extra calm this season. Until next time, stay warm, stay grounded, and allow the quiet of winter to guide you into deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. Tlasakamati, Ometeot,